But there was now maybe the play of the day. So they're in goal line, and it's 4th and goal at the 1. And Cooper Rush drops back to throw a quick out to his left to Dontario Drummond, a rookie wide receiver. And Bell is covering him out of the slot. He jumps the route for an interception, and he basically goes 99 yards for the touchdown.
Markquese Bell is one of the most interesting undrafted free agents for the Dallas Cowboys. It's undoubt. And if you look at my thumbnail, I do have a Gladiator on there, Marcus Aurelius, because Markquese Bell is my win of freedom candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. So for those who don't know what that means, what I'm saying is some of these guys have major rises once they get to a team, and it's a big rise to go from an undrafted free agent to actually a starter anywhere in the NFL. But he's the top candidate in this year's draft class that could possibly have that happen, and we go talk about why. So stay to the end as I get into that content and kind of really fully explain all of that. So we go always start with the film. So first thing we always want to do is look at them tackle. And this particular play, I start noticing a trend about him as he doesn't seem to go high, and even going against a quarterback, he cut him. And when I'm looking at a safety, one of the main things that I'm looking for is I'm looking for those type of candidates that have what I call having a screw loose in their head, meaning they willing to take on contact on an exponential level. So he tackles low often. That's not bad because he gets them on the ground, and he go see him get them on the ground a lot. At the same time, especially right here, before I kind of talk about him tackling low, I like this particular play because it shows his intelligence. He's going to take on this crackback. You can see him, boom, he takes on that crackback and he sells the retaliation. That's smart. That's somebody that's in the game that's trying to draw a foul. I like players like that because they thinking. They're always trying to get the advantage. But going back to him tackling low, that's what he tends to do. Similar to Markquese, right? To where Markquese was like that. He was a sure tackler, but he never really went high. Obviously, that was because of his size. But this guy is particularly big. He's 6'3" by a lot of measurements. His official height was 6'2", and they have him ranging anywhere from 210 to 215. That's where most measurements going to have him ranging. That's nice size. So occasionally I want to see you take these guys on, and that's again going against the quarterback, and you got to give the quarterback a nice shot. What do you mean, boss? Whenever you're going against a quarterback, that's your opportunity to change the game, because your quarterback is almost like the Parsons of the defense, meaning they're a powerful chess piece. If you can hit them up top, make them have a sore shoulder, or even have them thinking about particular hits that could be coming, you could change the game. So if you going low, I'm not mad at you going low on running backs and even some receivers. Sometimes just get them on the ground. Unless you're trying to get the chains, but I want to see that screw loose on occasion, and on the film is not showing that. But he had one tackle here that was high. He faces the running backs, he takes them on. That's what you want to see, a good, solid, strong tackle. But then the rest of the tackles in this particular game is going to be low. He literally had only one high tackle during the whole game. So that's something that I want to see, and right there, that's a good tackle, but that's more so he was able to kind of turn him around and throw him on the ground. But the pattern is pretty clear that he goes at ankles. He more so go at ease. Markquese will go at ankles. He goes at knees. So he go get you on the ground, but he's not the type of player that's looking to lay out guys. Like, he's not, the film doesn't show an instinctive hitter. He shows a good, smart tackler. So I counted about 10 tackles this game, which is good. A safety having 10 tackles any game is good. But then I also saw him miss tackles, and I'm very big on how you tackle, especially if you playing in the lower conference. So he's the last line of defense. So he has to be a sound tackler. So he's going to miss that tackle right there. And he had help. That's the only reason why the guy was able to get him on the ground. And right here, this is just a bad angle totally. And it costs a touchdown, because safeties are the last line of defense. So I'm very critical when I see that. So in one game versus inferior opponents, he missed 2 tackles. Just put it like this: Curse missed 4 tackles for the whole year. And so when I did a breakdown of Curse last year, before we even signed him, I was saying that he was he was a good tackler at worst. That was my specific quote. I said he was a good tackler at worst. So when you the last line of defense, I want you to be an awesome tackler. Even 2 tackles at the position that he plays is too much for me. And being an undrafted free agent, I would be hard on him because he has a lot of upside. And with his name starting to ring a lot, I would want to keep him humble. I would want to keep him hungry. I will stay on him like white on rice, because there's a particular amount of greatness in him. I also noticed a couple of things in his game to watch as well. So when I watched him against the pass and lined up in the slot, one thing that I saw is his foot would get stuck when he planted. And I'm going to highlight it and show it even more. So you can see that foot, and you also see what's called a double take. I zoomed it in so you can see it. You can see his foot takes 2 times to stop. See, you think that's small, but when you're coming out your brakes and it takes your foot 2 times before you can brake and then accelerate out that brake, that causes separation. Now, the thing that I like that he did well is he undercut the receiver, which shows intelligence, right? So he knew he was beat on the inside, so he shortened that angle by undercutting it. That's smart. So, but one thing I would put on him as a regimen is a jump rope. He would have to jump rope 10 minutes a day, because that would actually fix that. That would get his quick twitch. Now, one thing that I do love that I was watching when I watched him cover is he was smart. I see a guy that's smart. For this reason, he trusted speed. He knew the level of the guys that he was going against, so he didn't panic. That's what you want to see. No read steps. So read steps is when the quarterback hiked the ball, you take 1 slow step back, reading the quarterback to see, is he doing a 3-step drop, a 5-step drop, or a 7-step drop. He takes no read step, but that's more so saying he know these guys can't run with him. That's intelligence. That's also confidence. He also doesn't backpedal a lot. That's also an indication that he trusts his speed, that he knows on this level that none of those guys was athletes like him. But that's intelligence. He also allowed those guys to eat up his cushion a lot. I have no problem with that when you're a superior athlete on the level you playing in. So it's the little things when you watch him, but you can see it. So when I turn it back on, you'll see, even in this one play, you will see him not take 1 read step, no read step. He hiked the ball, no read step. He just comes out his break. That's trust, and that's smart. So when I'm looking at Markquese Bell, you're looking at a crazy athlete. 6'2", most measurements have him around 6'3", 212. Man, that's some epic size on a safety. And his 40 time was a 4.41 electronic. He's a tackling machine, even though I would want him to get better. I would want to really, I don't want to see any safety missing 2 tackles per game, or pretty much ever. I want my safeties to be the best tacklers on the team. But he's a freak athlete, and that's why one of the main reasons I'm giving him my Gladiator Watch Award. You know, because first of all, when you look at him, he looks like an NFL athlete. That's one of the first things that most scouts go look at is how you look in your uniform. Plus, he was a former All-American in high school. So he's been viewed for a very long time as a guy that has that it factor. So I'm still digging into his background just a little bit more because I'm trying to see why he was bouncing around a little bit from different schools. But in terms of athletic ability, what he puts on film, there's no doubt that he has the gifts. And just like a Gladiator and just like the movie Gladiator, as an undrafted free agent, you go start from humble beginnings. You got to, but as you trying to climb up, the key is to win the crowd. So his name is growing. You hearing it. You hearing this name growing. And then eventually, if he make enough plays and continue to make his name known to the fan base, because the media is already doing a lot of stories on him, and obviously we like that. But it's really will also be about him rocking the crowds, because he needs to continue to build good practices after good practice, good scrimmages after good scrimmages, then good games, good preseason games, good special teams, from good special teams to getting your opportunity. And then once you get your opportunity in a live game, you can mess around and be the next Terrence Steele. You really can. And it could happen. Mainly because the safety room got some question marks. Obviously, you have a linchpin with Curse, so we already know that's gonna work. But Malik Hooker, if he's not rotational, had a major injury history, and Donovan Wilson has been kind of up and down on his injuries. So a guy like Markquese Bell could get his shot at any moment. And just like Steele, when Steele got his shot, he continued to use those as developmental reps, and he basically becoming an outstanding tackle candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. So if you like this content, y'all make sure y'all definitely hit that like button. That's one of the keys. Please do that. That's how you help this channel. And keep a lookout, because we got a lot more videos coming this week where we're going to be talking about OTA stand out like this guy, because you can see he's standing out. There's a lot of buzz going out on Markquese Bell, and he's earning it. So y'all stay up to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. Peace.